I think that this is part of the American propaganda. The assumption that crime or these type of crimes generally is a particular type of people, and those particular type of people, they're all the same and need to be gotten rid of. Now, does he actually say that? No. But what he does is he leaves enough plausible deniability out there so that he can't get himself canceled. Honestly, I think this is, well, listen, this is like some of the most abrasive bull I've ever heard. But anyways, I'm not trying to keep everybody super late tonight, but what I do want to get back to this other thing, this Matt Walsh thing. Okay, so there's the fight, and there's the girl that beat the crap out of the other girl. I've only seen clips of the video. I would imagine we've seen some of the lovely ladies, the spawn of the lovely ladies, gang up and beat up people before. We've seen that, right? So that's not something that we haven't seen. We've seen how, bigger girls, when they get a smaller girl on the ground, we've seen how they like kind of pound their head into the ground, right? I think we have a firm understanding that generally ladies don't understand the damage that they may or may not be doing physically to another person. I don't think they really understand that concept. Does that make any sense? Right? Like when a guy punches another guy and he like connects and he knows, like he'll stop, right? It's like bang. Like if you hit a guy and you break his nose, right? And it's like you can hear the crunch or you can feel the crunch. Your natural inclination is to be like, ooh, okay, like, are you done? Are you done? Because we can be done, because I know that hurt. You know what I'm saying? Guys like give each other that, like, we won't kick each other in the nuts intentionally unless, you screw each other's girl, right? Like nuts are off limits generally, unless it's like life or death, right? Like you're not gonna, all right, maybe not. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. But guys have a certain, but ladies don't understand like when enough is enough, right? Like they're enraged, they're fighting, they're gonna beat and pound until somebody stops moving, right? We've seen girls bounce another girl's head off the concrete. I'm assuming that this is kind of what happened there. I don't know why the fight started. I don't know who perpetuated all of it. I don't know anything. But what I do know is that the opinion of Matt Walsh on this particular story is exactly the problem with this fucking country. And I mean that in a very serious way. We're going to break down what this guy said. I'm going to play this. Let me know if you guys can hear this or not.
Rage over a violent fight involving students in the Hazelwood School District. Police tell First Alert 4 the victim is in critical condition and a 15-year-old girl is in police custody. Our Alexis Zotos is live in the studio with me tonight after working to gather the details on this. And Alexis, this is very disturbing.
It really is, Justin, and it's a story that is garnering national attention. There are several videos of this fight that have been shared by thousands of people on social media. Police said the young girl injured in the video sustained a severe head injury, remains in critical condition, and a 15-year-old girl has been arrested and is currently being held in juvenile court. We want to warn you, the contents of this story are disturbing.
Camera video shared by
before I get into all this, can you guys remember times where they were always just like, we got to give you a warning, warning, got to give you a warning, warning, got to give you the warning, it's disturbing, it's disturbing, you're going to be disturbed. You know what I'm saying? So almost to say that it's more, I should pay attention more so to this particular instance of violence than any other. Like this particular violence is different. It's more important. This should scare me more than any other senseless violence. Does that make any sense?
Perfect sense.
So
Yeah.
so that's why I want to just kind of keep, because even their language and the things that they're saying, oh, it's so sad, and it's just, you'll see.
It's like David Goggins talking about going through Hell Week. Like all the instructors kept telling them, Wednesday's the worst day. Wednesday's gonna be absolute hell. You're gonna be out of energy. This, that, and the third. With all on Wednesday, he found the second win. That he found like the guys helping him out, like the unit he was with. They found the second win also. It's like it's a mind game.
100%. That's 100%. You're 110% correct. I agree. Here, let's let this rock real fast.
Neighbors,
I want to get to what this idiot
getting
said.
to gather Friday afternoon, just after the school day ended. The fight happened here at the intersection of Norgate and Claudine Drive, just a few blocks from Hazelwood East High School. Multiple videos shared on social media captured the fight. But First Alert 4 is blurring these images due to the graphic and disturbing nature. In the videos, which have now gone viral, you can see multiple people fighting, and one girl repeatedly slams another girl's head on the street. The young girl is then left lying in the road. St. Louis County Police are investigating, and they tell First Alert 4 a 15-year-old was arrested on Saturday and faces assault charges. Because she's a juvenile, details are limited at this time. St. Louis County Prosecutor Wesley Bell tweeted video of the fight, calling it sickening and difficult to watch, adding, quote, "By law, our office has no jurisdiction. This is a juvenile court."
You think it's funny how you don't ever see young white boys beating people up?
Tend to see it a lot in real life, though.
Oh yeah, see it in real life all the time. But I don't ever see the video. I don't ever see the clip. I don't ever see that.
You're gonna get yours, Sebastian.
Yeah.
Where my tech dudes, Sebastian.
Come on, Bartholomew.
Yeah. I'm tired of you, bro.
Bro, you're gonna get it.
I seen it, man.
Now,
Yo,
I spoke with a lot of the neighbors that live.
You gonna say?
the most entertaining thing to see is two white boys arguing.
A little bit. Then neither one of them really wants to fight.
Yeah.
Either one, they're like, you know, pushing and like bumping the chest. You know what I'm saying? You do something. You do something. Do something. You do something.
Shoulder touch, walk in the circle.
Touch me. If you don't, you touch me. Don't touch me. Don't you touch me. It's insane. There, let's see these people rock.
Live on this street where the fight happened. None of them wanted to go on camera, some out of fear of retaliation. They do say that there were some adults present at that fight, and they believe many more people need to be charged.
The Hazelwood School District released a statement saying, in part, it is a tragedy anytime children are hurt. Bullying and fighting in the community is an issue for which we will all need to take ownership and work towards a resolution for the sake of our children. The Hazelwood School District offers our sincerest condolences to everyone involved.
So, anyways, crazy fight. I mean, look, and shout out to Freedom's Journal because you said something. What did he say? He said, pre-social media. He said pre-social media, this would have never made the news, and I kind of agree with that. I would agree with that. Like somebody would get punished for it, but I don't think that it would be. I don't think that it would be front page news. Well, but here let's listen to what this guy says here, and like I said, I got to be real. In my honest opinion, I think a lot of people feel this way. I'm going to use air quotes. I think that this is part of the American propaganda. The assumption that crime or these type of crimes generally is a particular type of people, and those particular type of people, they're all the same and need to be gotten rid of. Now, does he actually say that? No. But what he does is he leaves enough plausible deniability out there so that he can't get himself canceled. Honestly, I think this is, we'll listen to, this is like some of the most abrasive bull I've ever heard. So anyways, I'm going to let this guy rock. I think after the story, let's see here. Can you hear? Let's see.
It's a little low. Yeah.
Right. Because this is not.
Okay. All right. So he's reading what happened here.
Another unidentified 15-year-old girl was later taken into custody on assault charges.
Fair use.
Okay. I'm not going to play the video. You can easily find it if you want to. I'll just say a few things about this. And first of all, again, what we're seeing in these videos, and in this one girl on top of the other one pounding her head into the pavement. This is not.
Have you ever, real quick though, we got to be real about this a little bit, okay? All right. So, girl fights, particularly lovely ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Full mount, right? Full mount, 2 hands full of hair, doing the Donkey Kong. You know what I'm saying? Right? We can all visualize this, right? So I gotta be real. Outside of any other hood fight that you may have not or may not have ever seen.
Seen plenty of them.
Don't they kind of end with the full mount, if you got a big sister girl on top of anybody else, right? And the person underneath can't get up, right? So we know so as crazy as they're trying to make it sound, it's not as like wild. Like, I'm not saying that that's like par for the course, but like girl fights at that level, at that age, a lot of times
2 women fighting is like a 5-year-old jujitsu class. It's just nothing really happens. They just pretty much just sit there pulling each other's hair and doing the backstroke swim and swinging the arms, and it pretty much ends in a way where it's just like both of them just tire themselves out. They don't really do anything else after they just tire themselves out. And if you get a big girl on top, you know what I'm saying, and she's wailing down blows and like banging,
right? Whatever.
Yeah.
Hood fights aren't suburban fights. Okay. So what you're saying is that since it was in suburbia, those fights aren't, those fights are different. Okay, maybe. I get it. Right? Maybe. Yeah.
I never lived in the suburbs. I always lived in the hood, in city neighborhoods. So I mean,
yeah. So in the hood, if you get full mount and the girl's on top and she's freaking dropping hammers and beating on you, that's what's gonna happen. Okay. All right. So we've established that. So the only reason why I brought that up is that this guy's trying to make this one particular fight seem like this is just so much worse than everything else. And this is and there's 2 sides to this, right? This is not, this actually is kind of typical, and it's not that strange. And if you listen to how he talks about this and apply it to other situations, it says a lot. Let's let him continue.
What any of us, or at least what most of us grew up with. Okay, these are not schoolyard fights, and the media reports that they're fights, and even in the report that I just read, we hear brawl, fight, melee. But that's not right, because this is not a fight. Okay, kids have always fought in school, and that's the problem with calling these things a fight. Is that when you hear that, you think, oh, okay, yeah, kids have been fighting for as long as human beings have existed. But that's not this. A fight is one thing. Okay, you're always going to have fights. It's not good.
Real quick. I already here. I just trying to build this up. This is the worst thing. I saw something worse in 6th grade, up close. It wasn't all fights, but certain fights like involving like gangs at the school. More often than not, somebody hit the ground I don't know all the context to it or whatever, but when somebody hit the ground, the crowd would stomp that person out. Seen this a few times. One time in particular, I'm outside, what Portal Bazaar, those little, like, basically like mobile homes outside the school because they have like too many kids that to fit into the actual building. My first class was there. I'm waiting outside. I'm seeing all this play out. This little scrawny white kid, it was a band nerd. He was trying to walk through the class. Ended up getting caught up in the mix of the crowd. The teachers finally dispersed the crowd. He's laid out. And I never knew what happened after the fact. I heard some rumors that the kid was in a coma.
Oh, snap. That's all bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's dangerous out here. You know, like, look, if somebody has some intention of doing you wrong or even just being reckless, you could be a victim really easily if you're not paying attention. Freedmen's Journal said this was a hood area and the white girl was a hood chick. Apparently she got into fights a lot, and that wouldn't surprise me. Okay, so thank you. Thank you so much for adding that piece to this information, because after listening to what this asshole says, and excuse my language, but what this guy says, it assumes that one side is just like this. That's just like isn't at fault for anything. It's like it was like you're just a senseless victim, and this person just beat the crap out of whatever, right? How often does somebody bite their mouth bite off more than they can chew?
And being raised in areas, again, thinking back on middle school, she probably dropped the N-bomb.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Seen that
or something. Maybe they did
scream something they shouldn't scream, and all of a sudden, like,
how many times? How many studies have we done where we see that DV is bi-directional? Now apply that to the damn lovely ladies and the goddamn white girls and the girl fights and all that. Like a lot of these females say a lot of ish to each other that would be fighting words to a lot of guys.
Fighting words, absolutely. Yeah. We wouldn't even cross those lines.
Yeah, we wouldn't cross
those lines. I've definitely I got good friends of mine that we've been in arguments, and I got to a moment where I was like, okay, anything more than this and we're going to come to blows. So I just got to chill cause there's no going back from this, man. Shout out to Cody Marshall. What's up, Cody Marshall? What did Cody Marshall say? These are Klingon ritual fights when it comes to the lovely ladies talking about blood curdling screams, man. You are not lying. Shout out to Cody Marshall for that $5. And you can say that 2 times for the slow people in the back. Joe, can we give Cody Marshall a salute for that one, please? Big facts, Cody. Big facts. But yeah, so let's we got to get, because the good part is later. I'm gonna fast forward to it, but like, listen to what this guy is talking about.
But you're always gonna have fights. But this is different. Getting on top of somebody when they're already lying on the ground and they've been beaten, right? And bashing their head repeatedly into the pavement. That's not a fight. That's attempted murder is what that is. That's you trying to kill someone. If somebody's on the ground and we see these videos so often, someone's on the ground and you got the group of thugs all around them, kicking their head, pounding their head into the pavement. That is an attempt to kill them. You're trying to.
Did you hear him?
So often.
Oh no, hold on.
Gonna have fights. It's not good, but you're always gonna have fights. But this is different. Getting on top of somebody when they're already lying on the ground and they've been beaten, right? And bashing their head repeatedly into the pavement. That's not a fight. That's attempted murder is what that is. That's you trying to kill someone. If somebody's on the ground and we see these videos so often, someone's on the.
Okay, we see these videos so often.
Ground and you got the group of thugs all around them. Kicking their head, pounding their head into the pavement.
Right? The thugs, the group of thugs. Not right? Okay.
That is an attempt to kill them. You're trying to kill them. You want to inflict maximum harm up to and including death.
Okay, so he is just oh man. So basically, now this went from girl on girl fight, and from what it seemed like, to be honest with you, it was a one-on-one situation. the girl didn't get jumped. She just got her ass kicked. And she did get left beat up and on the, but it was a one-on-one. She didn't get jumped. So suddenly you take that, but now you've layered onto it the imagery of a bunch of thugs standing around kicking and beating a single person when that's not even what happened. You see what I'm saying?
You trying to be the next Hillary Clinton super predator?
Yeah. I don't even know how that's happening, but God damn it. I don't even know how that happened. I don't even know. I guess, it happened because we've been broadcasting for an hour, maybe. I'm starting to put some of this stuff together. All right. But yeah, so look, guys, listen.
And as I've explained in the past when we've talked about this, it not to idolize the past, but that's not how it worked, right? When we were kids growing up and there were fights in school, now, sure, sometimes it would get kind of brutal. There were, many of us have examples we can think of particularly gruesome episodes, but for the most part, the goal was not really to inflict maximum harm on the other person. The goal was performance, really. It was like trying to show off to everybody else that you're tough and you beat this person. That's all you're trying.
Who was you fighting?
The goal was to hurt somebody.
Who was you fighting? Because I know in the hood.
Yeah,
I know where you might be fighting for your Nikes. You might be fighting for your Nikes. You might be fighting for your lunch money. You might be fighting for your life, right? So it's like, what the hell do you know, Matt Walsh, from the suburbs, about, like, what gives you the right to even say anything about what the conditions are or how fights work or how fights operate or what you don't know anything about what that's like in the hood. What people are fighting
somebody wants to establish dominance over another person, hurt them physically, mentally, emotionally, and the other person doesn't take it and they resist. Henceforth, a fight.
Yes.
Versus Matt Walsh, where they probably just do, like I said, backstroke win.
Yeah, I don't know, patty cake. Who knows?
Yeah,
probably thinks George Dillman's legit.
Was that
the Chi magic bullshit?
Yeah, fighting over Chelsea and shit.
Yeah,
I told you she's mine, bro.
She's mine. She's coming home with me, bro. Yeah. I don't care if she fucks with you. She comes home to me.
I'm not a cuck, bro.
Not a cuck. Yeah, you're a cuck.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Getting cucked is no joke.
But there's not any great desire to make this person feel as much pain as you could possibly make them feel. Certainly not any desire to kill them. But that's what we're seeing now. And there really is no difference in the mentality of the girl who committed this assault and the mentality of a school shooter.
Oh, what?
Real quick, what's
did you see how crazy
what's usually the race, the skin tone of the typical school shooter?
How about chat? Who's normally doing all the school shootings? What are we? You see how they're like okay, so this guy has put thugs jumping somebody in here, right? He's got school shooters in he's talking about, right? Do you see, like, black women understand? Look at how they're trying to make you they're trying to make y'all they're doing to y'all what they did to us.
Yeah.
And they're slapping on every single opportunity they have to try to, like, make it way worse than it really is. I mean, he said, man, look, run that back.
But that's what we're seeing now. And there really is no difference in the mentality of the girl who committed this assault.
No difference in the mentality. How do you know what her mentality is, sir?
And the mentality of a school shooter, right? It's the same kind of mentality. It's a total lack of humanity. It's a desire to inflict as much harm as possible.
Absolutely not.
You know you're fucked up, right?
Where the fuck does he get a merciless mayhem white boy versus a little cat fight on the street? Man, this motherfucker.
And completely different mind.
Right?
Somebody said something they shouldn't have said, cross the line they shouldn't have crossed, somehow pissed you off, you want to hem them up, as opposed to these kids that are going to detest life in general and acting out in protest against the concept of life, like the kids at Columbine.
Which are raised by your women, Matt.
That's true. That is true.
So don't you forget that ish.
Don't you?
And by the way, Alvin, Daily Wire, Value Entertainment, and just for just giggles too, because I actually do like them a little bit. Joe Rogan podcast. Yeah, they're all on my list for who I'm trying to overtake here on this game. Okay. Those are good. Those are all good. Those are great targets. Those are all great targets. I gotta get so that was one of, so I wanted to get to that part, and then there's another part where he just really kind of goes all in on the dog whistle. Hey, hold on a second.
Well, just for the sake of it. And yet school shooters get a lot of press, a lot of attention. Although they're still thankfully.
He doesn't even believe this bullshit. He can't even get it out.
Several kids.
He can't even get it
no
out.
Connection to the person. Usually they have no past. There's no story there. It's an act of angst against life. It's an act of nihilism, as opposed to anger against one person.
Yeah. It's not even. I mean, it's stupid for even saying it. It's irresponsible, really. But I mean, it really is
rare, not as rare as they should be, but it's still a thankfully rare phenomenon to have a school shooting. But this kind of thing that we
rare.
You stupid motherfucker.
But okay, but listen. The reason why I brought this up, though, y'all. Yeah, the reason I brought this up is because I know a lot of people feel this way. And just let's see. Let me get to this part right here. Let's go.
You automatically graduate to adult in the eyes of the court. I mean, that's the way it ought to be. It's not the way it often works. And it probably won't work that way right in front of you. And you're just filming it. You want to have a national conversation about something? It should be about that. The second point about all this is that, speaking of what can be done about it, the girl.
What can be done about it? So we're only what can be done about some of these fights.
Attacker needs to face severe consequences. And there's a debate now about, well, should she be charged as an adult? Of course she should be. And this should be kind of simple, right? If you kill someone or you try to kill someone or you almost kill someone, you automatically graduate to adult in the eyes of the court. I mean,
But that's not the law, though. That's not the law. Just because there is an attempted murder or there's a fight that ends in murder doesn't necessarily mean that younger person is going to be charged as an adult. They get charged as an adult if the prosecutor decides that they want to. There is no they have to. It's if they want to. They don't have to charge the child as an adult. There are child penalties for the things that are more super heinous, which they generally only try to put on us. They only charge us as adults.
That's what I was gonna say. What the group is mainly looked at as adults and not juveniles.
You see what I'm saying? So like, even though he's not saying that specifically, he's saying that. Right? He's like, yeah, they should get charged because they don't ever charge white kids for as adults. They don't charge white kids as adults. They try to keep them as under 18 as far as they possibly can.
They're juveniles because the name gets cleared after 18.
And they sure as hell try to scrub their records as soon as they turn 18 too.
Yeah.
Right?
I've seen it happen plenty of times.
But for us, they somehow figure out how to charge us as adults, make sure our record sticks, can't be expunged, follows us around forever. I don't know, like I said, but listen to what this asshole says.
The way it ought to be. It's not the way it often works, and it probably won't work that way in this case.
The way it ought to be. Who the fuck are you to say the way it ought to be?
That's not very constitutional, Matt. And you're supposed to be conservative.
But I think a lot of people feel this way. Listen to what this asshole says.
But it should. If you commit an adult crime, you get an adult punishment.
That's not the law, though. That's not the law. If you're an adult, you're an adult. If you're a child, you're a child. You shouldn't be able to just willy-nilly decide who gets to get treated as an adult and who gets to get treated as a child. It doesn't work that way. But it's the way this guy is explaining it, it's making it seem that people think that that's how it works. And the thing of it is what he's not saying is that, oh, only little black kids qualify to be as an adult, as a child when they commit these types of crimes. But again, dog whistles. That's not what he's not saying it out loud, but everybody knows what it is that he means.
So sure, I mean, we should take into account that somebody as a kid is a juvenile if they're arrested for like vandalism or something. And that's not to say that vandalism is not it cannot be a serious crime in its own right. But, if you have a kid arrested for vandalism.
The fuck is you saying? You skinny bitch.
He's making stuff up. Right? It's just they're making excuses so that they can treat us. Or again, I don't know what that little girl did. I don't know what the fight was all about. I don't know if the white girl, like I said,
I bet neither does he.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
But he's sure freaking opinionated about it. Here, let's let this rock real quick.
Graffiti, knocking over somebody's mailbox or whatever. Then yeah, I think it makes sense to take into account that they're a kid. Like if I go at the age of 37 and I throw eggs at somebody's house on Halloween, the penalty for me should be pretty serious because I'm 37 years old. Now, if I did it at the age of 17, which I may or may not have done at 17, the penalty should be far less serious because that's the kind of thing that kids will do because they're young.
There is already an existing crime and penalty for those things. There is a penalty and crime for those things already. It's called vandalism. And vandalism as a 37-year-old man would get you a certain thing in court. And then as a adolescent or a minor, it gets you something else, but it's still the same crime.
Artificially making laws up in your head and not even putting, it's quite obvious what you're doing here, Matt.
It is. It is. Cody Marshall says this guy's dangerous. Shaw is impeding certain atrocities and violence is something major. He wants all of us blacks in prison. You know what, Cody? He's going to tell you about that here in just a second. Gerald, can we get Cody Marshall a salute, please? Thank you so much, brother. That freaking think your beard is looking strong these days. Let's let this guy rock.
Young and stupid, and they're not thinking about the consequences. And it's not especially malicious, at least it's not intended to be. So there's no reason to turn it into a serious life-altering thing after the fact. But serious violent crimes are a different matter, and those need to be dealt with in a different way. And the fact is this, the girl who was slamming the other girl's head into the pavement, that...
Once again, what does that mean? There's already penalties for these crimes. They already exist. What this guy is doing is he's laying the groundwork to make it okay to penalize some people more for other people. That somehow this crime and this girl and this thing is somehow way more heinous than every other ass beating we've ever seen.
We had laws like that. They were called Jim Crow. Thank you.
It's like, what laws are you talking about that don't exist where people don't take ownership of the things that happen? People get in fights, somebody ends up, passing away because they fell and hit their head, right? There's people serving time right now because of that. That could say that was an honest accident. It was a drunken fight at a bar, right?
Called manslaughter.
Thank you. There are names for these things. They already exist. There's names and penalties for these crimes already. Who are you to say, oh, well, you know what? This is more heinous than the other thing, or this should be on par with the school. Like what? Like, what does that even mean? Somehow this fight is on the same, what you call it, with the Columbine? Are you crazy? Like, you understand how crazy that sounds?
Girl, let's just be honest about it.
Now, this shit right here, this is what had me, bro. This is what had me. Okay, they don't know this girl from nothing, right? Now look, black girl, we don't know. She could have both her parents at home. She could have straight A's. It could have been the white girl that was doing all the freaking jabbing and the talking, and it was one of those F around and find out moments, right? We don't know. We don't know who was supposed to be on the on the receiving, or who was doing what. We don't know. We assume that this chick is like some sort of a thug or some sort of a whatever, right? How many times have you had somebody, some non-melanated person come up and try to push your buttons and get you to pop off?
Conflict is usually bi-directional. People don't get that. I mean, what if people don't get that? It's bi-directional, meaning
Absolutely.
retaliation. It's usually retaliation on both fronts.
Absolutely. Both people. It wasn't like
conflict sometimes.
Exactly. Well, it wasn't like it was like she walked up on somebody random and punched her in the back of the head, right? It was like they got engaged they engaged each other face to face for some reason, whatsoever. Maybe the white girl thought she had support. Maybe the white girl didn't think that the black girl would flip out on her like that. Who knows? But listen to what this guy is about to say. This is crazy to me.
It's not going to become
okay, listen.
That girl, let's just be honest about it. She's not going to become a contributing member of society.
Oh, really? Yeah. Listen.
Like, it's probably just, check back at, let's say she doesn't go to jail. Check back in 20 years. What's she up to?
Huh.
Is she a brain surgeon now? Is she, what is she doing?
Oh.
Is she a married mother of 4 in a happy marriage with the same guy?
Oh. Oh, black women. Woo! She can't get married and have kids by the same man. She can't be a doctor. She can't have good grades. She can't be a positive member of society.
Without a doubt, your soul is required in hell.
What is going on? You see what I'm saying? Let this guy rock. Go ahead.
Stay-at-home mom. Almost certainly not.
And we all know that. Certainly not. Oh, and we all know that. And we all know that. And we all know that. Listen. And we all know that. Who is all we? We all. Who is all we?
Who's we people?
Who's we people? Those people? You people?
What's the proper pronouns, Matt?
So we all know that this black girl's not going to be shit, huh? We all know that this black girl's not going to be shit, right? We assume, because we all know what's going to happen, right? We all know. Listen to what this dude is saying.
Be up to
this. I'm telling you, white people. Look, man, a lot of white folks feel this way.
Violent crimes are a different matter, and those need to be dealt with in a different way. And the fact is this: the girl who was slamming the other girl's head into the pavement, that girl, let's just be honest about it, she's not going to become a contributing member of society. Like, it's probably just, check back at, let's say she doesn't go to jail. Check back in 20 years. What's she up to?
Hey, a little shaman, little shaman coming from he's on the right, but I think he's taking lessons from the left. You know what I'm saying? He's got that shaman. He's got that shaman thing. He's got that shaman thing down.
Is she a brain surgeon now? Is she? What is she doing? Is she a married mother of 4 in a happy marriage with the same guy, and stay-at-home mom? Almost certainly not.
Goddamn teenage! What the hell are you talking about?
Almost certainly not.
Same can be said to the other girl.
Yeah. They're teenagers. What the hell are you talking about? Oh my goodness. I'm about to.
And we all know that. She has put herself on a path, and that path leads to more crime and more violence. And it just does.
And it just does. It's so matter of fact. And it just does, right? They commit crime. They're not worth anything. Lock them up and throw away the key. It gets better, guys. It gets better. Hold on. Listen.
And again, everybody knows it.
Everybody knows it.
So should we put her back out on the street so that she can walk that path freely and claim however many victims along the way until she does something so heinous that even our modern court system with its kid gloves has no choice but to put her away for good? Like, is that what we should do? Or should we head it off at the pass and just throw her in prison for a long time? And say, you're 15 or 16 years old, however old she is. You're already trying to beat someone to death with your bare hands.
One emotional moment.
It just
fuck her entire life.
Sorry, you're out. That's a one strike, you're out, and you're done. and we're not going to see you for a long time. We cannot have you in society. We just cannot have you.
We cannot have you. Now, we cannot have you in society. He gets to decide. He gets to decide based on how he feels and what he thinks is okay and what is a crime isn't a crime. He thinks that he has the right to be able to tell people who should and shouldn't be in this country and who should and shouldn't be locked up. He has the right to say that. He has the right to make those decisions.
Spoken like a true liberal.
Spoken like a true liberal. Man, can you drop a bomb for yourself on that one? Can you drop a bomb?
Is this what you want?
Praise Jesus.
Dog, this sent me off the like, this put me in a different stratosphere. This right here. Yeah.
You're the kind of person that it's not fair to ask anyone to be around you.
It's not fair for anyone to be around you. He doesn't know the circumstances of the... Anyways.
And yeah, it's very sad. It's sad. It is very sad.
We don't believe you, sir. we don't believe you.
Sad, first of all, because what happened to the victim, but it's also sad thinking about a 15 or 16-year-old girl that her whole life is she's given up, she's squandered it at such a young age. It's a very sad thing. But
a girl, if she is the savage you're painting her out to be, is in many ways empirically the creation of the system.
I mean, do you think that, okay, I'm pointing this stuff out, right? Sentence by sentence. What percentage of people do you think that's pretty cool? Hit the like button. I really wish I knew what the hell is going on. I wish I knew like how to control that. I just don't. How many people do you think listen to what he says and don't even hear the like the propaganda? Like, I mean, because if you listen to it on the surface, there doesn't there's like nothing wrong with it, right? But like, it's like, wait, but I saw how you've made multiple false equivalencies, right? So you're like trying to make this the same as a school shooter is the same as like someone being jumped, which is the same as like all these like super max violent criminals, you know what I mean? And then at the same time try to say, oh, but I mean, how do we solve it? I mean, we could, it's sad. It's sad that, but it's sad, it's like that, but you don't even believe that. Like, you clearly don't. Listen to this part though.
We just have to ask ourselves, do we want to heap more sad things on top of the one sad? It's like the fact that she is that kind of person and that we have no choice but to put her in a cage for many, many years and she's not going to see the light of day. Like, that's sad. Incredibly sad.
You keep saying it. Well, we don't believe you, sir.
And again, foregone conclusion that she's going to be doing crazy amounts of time. False assumption of both the character of both girls in question. We don't know anything about either one of them.
We don't. We absolutely do not.
No details whatsoever. You're just assuming shit. And when you assume, you make an ass out of you.
Facts. So, I mean, so again, I think a lot of people, as much as I hate to admit it, a lot of people really feel this way. And they think that they don't see anything wrong with what he's saying. They don't see anything wrong with the attitude that he has. He looked like a fan of Margaret Sanger. You're right, Cody Marshall, 110%. And I don't even think people even understand what that means. Joe, can we give Cody Marshall a salute, please? You're 100% correct. You're 100% correct, Cody Marshall. Anyways, let's see. This situation could have probably been prevented on multiple ends. No, Elliot Rogers was mixed. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't really care so much. Whatever happened with this situation, it happened. I get it. I have no dog in the fight. But what I'll say is this: the things that this guy is saying is freaking dangerous. This is the type of speech that makes it so that they can lock us up and throw away the key. This is the kind of speech that allows them to kick your door open and come in without a warrant. This is the speech that allows them to stop and frisk you and destroy your civil liberties and there's not anything that you can do about it because of people like this, like situations like this. 110%. Like, he's flying cover for so many other, like, the type of racist stuff that actually matters. Not just like, oh, you know, black people are freaking jigaboos and whatever. It's like, these are the type of guys that like help create policy.
But if you don't, then you still have this person living this sad life, and they're going to create a lot of other very sad situations.
Sad situation. So sad. What is sad? So what is sad? What's sad? What is sad code for?
White girls being victims.
You said black girls being victims?
White.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yes. However, what if sad was code for black or the condition of black people? What if sad doesn't mean sad as in like actually sad, sad meaning like black people's position, right? It's sad. Oh, they're so sad. They can't sad. Let's listen to that again and try to, like, instead of thinking of sad in the traditional way of sad, let's think of it as it's black people's condition. It's the way they are. It's because of the way they are is what's sad.
Sad human being.
They're how they are makes them sad because of the result. Now let's listen back to what he said and let's listen again.
And say, you're 15 or 16 years old, however old she is. You're already trying to beat someone to death with your bare hands. You just, sorry, you're out. So that's a one strike, you're out and you're done. And we're not going to see you for a long time.
What law is that, by the way? Is there a law that has, is there a law that says that should be the case?
The way he said it, you're 16, you're already trying to kill somebody.
Thank you.
We cannot have you in society. We just cannot have you.
We cannot have you in society.
You're the kind of person that it's not fair to ask anyone to be around you. And yeah, it's very sad. It's sad. It is very sad.
It's sad.
Sad. It's sad, first of all, because of what happened to the victim, but it's also sad thinking about a 15 or 16-year-old girl that her whole life is she's given up, you know, she's squandered it at such a young age. It's a very sad thing. But
damn, he even admitted it.
We just have to ask ourselves, do we want to heap more sad things on top of the one set?
More sad things? What are the sad things?
It's like the fact that she is that kind of person and that we have to...
She's that kind of person. We don't know what kind of person she is. We really don't.
And we have no choice but to put her in a cage for many, many years, and she's not going to see the light of day. Like, that's sad.
Listen how he said it.
Yeah, the language, not the cell, cage.
Yeah, it's sad. You know, I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, sad. I mean, you know, because, you know, black people do crime and shit. Because, you know, because that's what black people do. You know, sad.
Incredibly sad. But if you don't, then you still have this person living this sad life, and they're going to create a lot of other very sad situations along the way. And just
other sad
likes that word. Yeah, he really likes that word, doesn't he?
Because it's like you're insulting the fuck out of a bunch of people, but you're trying to use this word sad as so it's not saying what you're really saying. Right? Like you're like, again, this is the definition of a dog whistle. That he's saying one thing, but it means something else. And what is that? Cage code for animal? Absolutely. 100%.
Crew tragedy and more victims until, again, you just have no choice but to put her somewhere.
No, if she commits a crime, then she goes to court and then she gets to sit in front of a judge and a jury. And then if she's been found guilty, she gets punished. There is a system for this stuff, guys.
Deemed innocent and totally innocent until they are convicted by a jury of their peers. That's the way it works.
That's the way it works. So it's like, who the fuck are you to just sit here and think that you can just like damn somebody to hell from your desk, from your YouTube? Are you serious? How irresponsible is this? Like, how irresponsible? And this is the thing. And like I said, there's a lot of people that feel this way, y'all. And it might not, if I don't stop every other sentence and be like, listen, right? People, that stuff goes right in one ear and they absorb enough of it to reinforce their attitude or their energy. And
that's
then
the thing about propaganda. It gets programmed.
Yeah, it is programming. You're 100% correct.
Yeah.
Simple shit, like deer metaphor and Get Out. Use low key reference black people. Yeah, man. Get Out, the father husband use low key references black. Absolutely. It is a thing. Like, we got to stop pretending that these people, because the people that we try to pretend like are our friends, the non-melanated people that are our friends, it's like, look, they're out here freaking, you know what I'm saying, doing us straight dirty from the get. But anyways,